wabarakatuh. My name is Dona Sabel. I'm from PBI C, and I will reading the journal. Grammar instruction in communicative language teaching classroom student teachers perception by Muhammad Halandiah, Dian Erlina, Leni Marzulina, Fitria Rambulan Ramdhani. Abstract. The aim of this study was to find out the teachers and student perception toward grammar instruction in communicative language teaching classroom. The participants of this study were 2 teachers and 4 students from an Islamic junior high school madrasah. We used a case study method to conduct this research to identify teachers and students' perception in a teaching and learning grammar instruction in communicative language teaching classroom. The data were collected by using interviews. The data were analyzed by using thematic analysis. The findings indicated that were 5 indicators on student-teachers' perception. First, grammar was a crucial component in improving English skills. Second, using classroom activities to promote communicative activities in the classroom. Third, error correction was seen as one of process to create students in mastering materials. 4. Teaching grammar instruction in CLT classroom. Teachers act as motivator and facilitate all students. Last, students should take part on the process of learning. Introduction. Grammar is the language framework and system of meaning. Every language seems to a grammar, and persons speaking in similar language will communicate because they naturally understand the grammar structure, which is the rulers of a meaning. According to Baston, in 1994, language without grammar is going to be messy, and it is harder to understand language without looking for this basic framework. So, grammar language will be impossible to learn effectively without following structure rules. They found that grammar plays a very important role in the study of language. The purpose of grammar is to educate those who use English to express their truth properly, but in speaking and writing. Research by Azad 2013 indicate that grammar is an essential and inseparable part in language teaching. So, teachers have tended to use communicative activities in teaching grammar instruction. It is mean that in teaching English as a foreign language, it is necessary to consider not only how learners acquire grammatical competence, but also how they learn to communicate. That is how they develop communication competence. Methodology, research design, participant, and locale of the study. The study used intrinsic case study method as the way to collect the data. Crosswell 2013 said case study is qualitative approach that involves the study about issue explored through one or more cases over time through detail. In-depth data collection involving multiple sources of information. We use intrinsic case study because this study design is focused on the case itself, the case present, and unusual or in-case situation. This study was conducted in Islamic Junior High School Palembang, which is English teachers and students of the 9th grades at MTS and 2 Palembang by using purposeful sampling technique. The aim of purposeful sampling was to choose the individual that could provide the information rich and the most detailed information to help the research answer the research question. Data collection and analysis. In this research, in order to find out teacher and student perception in grammar, interaction, communicative language teaching, we use interview and in order to gain information about our teachers and student perception toward grammar instruction in communicative language teaching classroom to analyze the data of teachers and student perception towards grammar instruction in communicative language teaching classroom. The data from interview were analyzed to determine information about teachers and student perception towards grammar instruction in communicative language teaching classroom. After we collect the data, we analyze the data by using thematic analysis. In this research, we use trustworthiness to evaluate qualitative data analysis to make sure that the findings were credible. Creswell 2012 defines validating is the researcher evaluate authenticity or credibility of the result through some techniques such as member checking or triangulation. Findings: the data gained from interviews were analyzed by using thematic analysis. The description of the findings were explained as follows. Teacher perception. After analyzing the data from interview, we found that there was some teachers' perception towards grammar instruction in communicative language teaching. Conclusion: based on the data analyzed by using thematic analysis, it was found teachers and student perception toward grammar instruction in communicative language teaching. The first, teachers' perception in teaching grammar instruction in communicative language teaching classroom. 1. The teaching a thing that provide student with excellent explanation was an effective was to teach grammar instruction in CLT classroom. 2. In learning process, the teacher using group and pair work was designed to promote communication in CLT classroom. 3. Teachers claim that in learning process, error correction was one of process student. 2. Mastering material, so correction mistake was an obligation for teachers. 4. Teachers perceive the should act as motivator in a teaching learning process and training students to take responsibility and develop their activities. 5. In teaching grammar instruction in CLT classroom, students should not only mastering the theory but also practicing the theory. The second, student perception in learning grammar in communicative language teaching classroom. 1. Students consider grammar as an important part in learning English so they need to know and learning grammar. 2.